should do this, except for breathing. You should do that. But everything else with food, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone has different macronutrient ratios that work for you. Climate makes a big difference. Your body's own internal energies make a big difference. And that's why it's a really good idea to work with someone to measure, okay, here's where I'm at inside my body, here's where I'm at in terms of my environment, here's what I'm used to, here's where I want to get to. All those factors influence what sort of diet you eat. So I'd be suspicious of anyone who told you, you must eat meat or sprouts or whatever. You know, nothing's going to agree with everyone. So I'd ask myself this basic question. How can I get ... And then we want to answer 4 points. As much nutrition as possible. And 2, with as few calories as possible. In the right balance for me. And then 4, this is really important, and Megan talked a lot about this, while enjoying the process. Now, if you can answer that question, then you know exactly what to eat. In general, and like literally what I'm going to eat right now. So I'll quickly go through why we got each of these here. As much nutrition as possible. Probably most people are already aware that most of the food that we eat is very, very low in real nutrition. One of the most basic building blocks, one of the most important things that we need is minerals. Minerals are more fundamental than protein, more fundamental than calories, more fundamental than fats. Minerals are basically the building blocks of physical reality from a chemistry point of view, okay? So minerals are the most important thing of all as far as I'm concerned. And if you had the choice of having pure calories and no minerals, or having pure minerals but no calories, you would survive a hell of a lot longer with the minerals. Now the problem is most of the food that we eat, as I think Ben talked about a bit, is very, very low in real minerals, okay? The reason that we eat superfoods and the reason we have tonic herbs, the reason we have organic, one of the main reasons, you know, we have organic foods rather than normal cultivated foods is because they are higher in nutrients. Because food in this day and age, and for the last few hundred years really, since the since the Industrial Revolution, has been specifically cultivated with profit in mind, not your health, not your nutritional needs. Conspiracy theorists would even say it's being deliberately kept low to keep you, but you know, whatever. The point is, it's very, very low in real nutrition. So you want to try and get as much nutrition as possible. So sprouts, superfoods, green foods, tonic herbs, perfect. With as few calories as possible. Can anyone tell me why that's the case? Why do we want as few calories as possible with our optimal diet, with our optimal food? No one? Come on.
Your body wastes energy.
Yeah, there's definitely that. Your body wastes energy burning those calories. The reason is because the only proven method to increase your lifespan, to increase longevity by about 30 to 50% in human beings, is calorie restriction. It's not reducing the amount that you eat necessarily, but definitely reducing the amount of calories that you take in. So, you know, there's this whole thing, especially like with a mother thing, you know, you must eat them up, must give them as much food as possible, calories as possible, you know, to make them healthier. It's a very, very, obviously it's a motherly, nurturing, wonderful instinct, but actually it's based on a scarcity of food. And in the Western world, we don't have a scarcity of food, we have an absolute surplus. And most of us are eating far too many calories, and that's causing all the premature health problems that we've got. Not all of them, a lot of them. Overemphasize. So as few calories as possible, because presumably we want to live as long as possible, and we want to have as high quality of life as possible. And burning up too many calories uses up our, where was it? Reserve energy. right? You just stuff yourself with calories and you have a lot more than you need to deal with. You have a lot more to deal with than you can possibly do at an everyday level. You need to dip into your reserves again. We're going to talk about reserves a lot more in a minute. In the right balance for me, right? So you've heard of metabolic typing. Some people need more protein, some people need more fat, some people need more carbohydrate. Some people thrive on having lots and lots of green foods, but some people don't, you know? Some people get sick if they have spirulina and spinach. Everyone needs to find the right balance for them, and you can go to all kind of experts to find out about that, or ideally you increase your level of spirit energy, and then your intuition tells you, that's what I need, and then you don't need to pay anyone, buy any books or anything. Not, you should buy books there, I'm sure they're all awesome. They are awesome. In the right balance for me, and that changes as well. For a long time, I thought I was a fat burner. Like I got most of my calories from fat. I spent a year having no sugar, no carbohydrates, and that was really good for me. Cleared out candida, balanced my blood sugar, everything was better. And now I'm getting at least as many calories from carbohydrate and fat, and that's working well for me, right? So be open to change. That's the other thing. Really be aware of what is the right balance for you, not just in general because some guru told me so, but right now with this meal. The only thing I'll add with that is really, with every meal, try and have at least some of each macronutrient, right? So don't have a meal with like just carbohydrate, just protein. And that's only really possible to do with refined foods. As long as you're eating real foods, they do always have a mixture of all of them. As long as you're not eating up heavily processed food. And then this last one, while enjoying the process. So it's so easy to get, it's hooked up on these that you can easily just hate eating, right? Who's got to that stage where they actually just get sick of eating? Oh, there must be more of you than that. I suppose we're on a health show. Yeah, I definitely used to get sick of eating. I used to be a chef. Food all day. I hate food. I like to see food again. In fact, I quit my job because at one point I was making the usual greasy, fatty food. The smell of it was actually making me want to vomit. So I was like, right, time for a new career choice. But yeah, you can really start to hate the process of eating. And I did. I used to eat pizza. What did I have? Like croissant and latte for breakfast, pizza for lunch, and then pasta with cheese for dinner, so gluten and dairy only diet. That was the right balance for me. No, it wasn't. That was terrible. And I hated it. I really didn't enjoy the process, But it's the same if you're just eating bowls of green food. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. So, that's basically it for your everyday energy. What else can we do? Digestion is the other thing. And the other thing to be aware of is the digestive system. Now, if you're eating as much nutrients as possible and as little calories as possible, you're probably not going to have that much problem with your digestion. Most of the problem with the digestion is either because we eat too frequently, which normally is because our blood sugar's out of whack, or because we overeat. If your digestion is really short though, you're going to need to address that one as well. So I would recommend some kind of stomach acid replacement, maybe natural things like kombucha or apple cider vinegar, or they really just really use something like betaine HCl. Most of us don't have enough stomach acid to digest our food properly. And then also do a cleanse to get the liver working again. Get a cleanse to clear out the small intestine, all the debris that builds up there. Most of you have, even you guys, have about 10 to 20 pounds of waste stuck in your intestines, right? That's a pretty standard amount. So no wonder you're having problems absorbing food. And then clear out the large intestine as well, and chew properly. So all of that needs to happen in order for the digestive system to really function optimally. I think if you just begin with this one, eat as much nutrition as possible with as few calories as possible in the right balance for me while enjoying the process. If I can do that, it's good. Anyone have any questions about this? Digestion? Awesome. You're either bored or that was really helpful. So, next thing. Gene. So, this is my speciality. Shameless plug.
Can you have a single cleanse for one organ, or should you be doing the whole body? Some people say that the cleanse for the liver, for instance, is kind of silly because it just goes into something else.
Some people say the liver cleanse is what, sorry?
Well, let's say a liver cleanse, right?
Yep.
It's like if you don't do the whole body cleanse at one time, the toxins from the liver go into the other systems, as opposed to getting it in the body.
I think that's a really, really great point. Should we do a brief 5-minute detour of our cleansing?